Guys and girls, it's Know It time!
Alright guys and gals, so your lesson today is called Applications of Log Part 3. Your final part to logs. So guys and gals, it's Know It time. Your favorite time of the day. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now number 12 and number 27, a lot of people were stuck, so they must know, how do you do it? It looks so confusing. So I'm going to tell you this, there may be a good chance that one of these questions will be in your exam. So I'm going to go over number 12 with you first. Here's number 12, right here. The number of roll film sold last year was 3 million. Nope, it's in your package. And it's decreasing at a rate of 17%. On your package, I want you to highlight a few key words right now. The first word is decreasing at a rate of 17%. So that would be 83, that's correct. So we know, I mentioned to you yesterday, Ryan, you said something, decreasing, so what does R represent? So what's the value of this going to be? 0.83. Now before I start, like I said, when you work with log, it's not about answering, playing the guessing game. You got to figure out what formula you're going to use. Kavina, what type is this? Type 1, 2, or 3, or 4?
Type
1. 2. What is it? Type 3. The reason why it can't be type 1 is, look, I don't see the keyword where it talks about compound. It talks about money, but there's no keyword compound. There's no earthquake problems. It can't be type 2. So it has to be type 3. So right off the bat, let's go A equals to PRT over N. Okay. But now, if you look at this one, there's two things. One is rolls of film, and one is digital camera.
Do you have to find like one thing at a time?
Yep, well, you're going to find one thing at a time. But before you do that, back in the days when you're probably in grade 1, grade 2, there's no such thing as cell phones. When you took a picture, how many remember something called Polaroid cameras? Hands up. You took a picture and then they shoot out a little thing and you wave around in midair for 2 minutes like a madman, and then you get a picture that's very faint and all the stuff. Then Kodak came along and they created rolls of film and they advertised for everyone to use. Kodak made over $5 billion a year. This month, as of 3 weeks ago, Kodak went on the news. Does anyone read the news? What happened to Kodak? They went bankrupt. Wow, Jasmine, you. So Kodak says we went bankrupt. Why did Kodak go bankrupt? Ah, right there, digital cameras. And what happened was this: Kodak what Kodak went wrong was 10 years ago. Kodak says, I'm making so much money, I don't need to invest and invent anything else. Because Kodak believed that films, they made so much money on films, they stopped inventing. And when they stopped inventing, they fell behind. And then all of a sudden Kodak says, oh my God, we're losing. Every company is beating us. And so now, right now, so the Kodak, last 5 years, they tried to start entering the digital camera market, but it was too late by then. So right now, Kodak lost money, and then they filed for bankruptcy. Kodak is done. How many heard of BlackBerry? How many have a BlackBerry? 3 years ago, BlackBerry ruled the market. There was no such thing as iPhone. Well, there is, but one in every 2 person had a BlackBerry. BlackBerry made $5 billion easily a year. They made so much money that says, hey, we're making so much money, we don't have to invent anything. Guess what happened to BlackBerry right now? Bankrupt. They are the next Kodak to go. Exactly. Because why? But it's too late for them to come back. They did the same thing, and they're going to say, we're going to catch up, we're going to be, so their new phone is going to look like similar to all the new iPhones, but it's too late already. BlackBerry is done. They are the next Kodak to go. But that's your bit of history. So this is called rolls of film versus digital camera. Let's deal with this first. The rolls of film. It sold 3 million last year. It's decreasing in rates. So would you agree So let's just highlight a few things. This 3, that is my p-value. So let's write down A equals to 3. My R, Ryan says, hey, which is 0.83.
Can you add 3 million?
No, you could, but it's too long. Okay. Now, the next question is, what the heck is n? 1. Why do you say it's 1? There's another magic word in there that I told you. Per. So we know n is just equal to 1. So would you agree my formula, this is, we're going to write this down, rolls of film. Film. Okay. At the same time, digital cameras kick in. So I have another set of formulas I got to worry about for digital camera. We'll call this digital. Digital camera sold 250,000. And look, they're increasing at a rate. So guys and gals, I'm going to pause my recording. Right off the bat. My recording is up. Yep. A equals to P R T over N. Again, all I'm going to do is I play the game of subbing in. There's no tricks to this. Okay. Bana, what is the P value for your digital camera? P value. I'll give you a hint. Right here. Which is 200. But we don't write 250,000. What do you write? 0.25. Because if we use 3 as 3 million, would you agree 250,000 is 0.25? So this is why we write 0.25. You could. If you want, you can write 250,000, but the problem is you have to write 3 million here. Yeah, it works. But just more, it's more messy later. Now, it's increasing at a rate of 12% per year. A bit more tricky. Sorry? No, that's where you went wrong. 112 is what in decimals? 1.12. Okay? Again, you got to think about, I'm going to highlight for you. So I want you to highlight this in your paper. Increasing. I want you to highlight this right now. Increasing. Okay. Now it says per year. Exactly same thing. T. So what you agreed is T. But now I have my two equations. It asks you, when will the two equal to each other? So guess what I'm going to do with these two equations? Equate it to each other. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to write down 3.83 to the power of t equals to 0.25, 1.12 to the power of t. I'm going to pause it right here. If you're lost at this step, raise your hand up so I can see. I'm explaining to you what I just did. See, I let these two equations equal to each other. Guys, gals, we're going to pause it again. I'm going to let you try to figure out now what do you do. You have exponents, exponents. Hidden rules. Kickstart your system. What hidden rule am I going to use? Log both sides. When you have so I'm going to pause it again. So if you're lost, watch what I'm going to do. I have my t's and exponents, so I'm going to use the log system. I'm going to log both sides. Log. Be careful about this one. You're going to use brackets. 3.83 to the power of t equals to, yep, make sure I bracket here, log 0.25 1.12 t. Okay, look what I just did. I didn't do anything tricky. I logged both sides. Now, I'm going to show you what a lot of people are going to do wrong. They're going to bring t all the way to the front. You can't do that. The reason why is this t is only associated with 0.83. So what can you do? Next step. Oh, starts with an M. Who said it? I heard it. Nope, multiplication rule. You see, this is 3 times this stuff. So I can break this down. You can add this. So it'll be log 3 plus. I'm going to do one more step ahead of you. T log 0.83. Again, I use brackets. Okay. Look what I did. If you're lost, just raise your hand up so let's go over it where you are. Again, I want you to follow what I did on the left side. apply it to the right side.
Just like we did 2 days ago, right?
Yeah, we just do the exact same thing. This is why applications really is what you've been working with logs and using every rule you've been learning. Log 0.25 plus t log 1.12. Bring your t's over, when in doubt, start working on it. Okay. So I'm going to bring all my t's to one side. T log 0.83. Again, I like to use brackets. It helps. Minus t log 1.12 equals to log 0.25 minus log 3. Some of you may got as far up to here. Gary, what do you do now? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Before you divide, take out a t. See, I can factor the t. Log 0.83 minus log 1.12 equals to log 0.25. Oh, someone's light bulb just went on. Log 3. Guys and gals, we're almost done. Only one more step to go. Divide. And you're going to have this nasty equation. Take a minute, punch it in your calculator right now. And you're going to punch it in your calculator. When you do, compare it with the answer in the back. It should be the exact same thing. Number 12. This is the same question, same technique for number 27. So a lot of you say, Mr. No, I'm stuck on 12, I'm stuck on 27. What do I do? This is what you do.
Is the same as 27?
Same concept. You create two equations, set it equal to each other. 8.29, and which is around 8.3. So in 8.3 years, digital films will equal to roll films. So right now we are past 8.3 years. Digital films have taken over rolls. There's no more rolls. It's done. Question. Hi. Which one?
Like on both sides?
This one? Yep.
Yeah, right? Can you just...
Right as the division?
Yeah.
You could. It would be log 0.25 divided by 3. Not log 0.25 divided by log 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. You should get the exact same answer. Guys and gals, that's how you do it. But I also suggest you look at number 10, which I won't have time to do. I want you to put a star beside 10, because 10 is another great question exams love, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to go over that with you. It's something you should be able to do. And if you need help, that's what after school is for. But I want to go over the final type. Type 4. The type that everyone loves. Say it once and you never forget again. If you don't say it, you're going to be scratching your head. Epecte. You remember that word for the rest of your life, I kid you not. I have graduates who come back to me and say, Mr. No, I still remember type 4. Type 4 is epecte.
I forgot overnight.
Oh, you forgot overnight? Oh, please. Here we go. Epecte. The key word. Only one keyword rules them all. Randy, what is that keyword? Continuously. I don't care about anything else. It doesn't matter if I talk about money. It doesn't matter if I talk about growth and decay. The moment I see that word, one word rules them all. Here's how it works. I'm going to give you a question. Back in 1986 was when my parents came to Canada. And 1986, yep. So my parents came to Canada in 1986. Back then, the housing markets, you can buy a house for around $50,000.
50,000?
In Vancouver. 50,000. Okay? Now, the reason why was back in 1986, so let's copy this down. True story. The world's population,
The fair was here or something.
that was the Expo.
Expo, yeah.
Well, you know so much. It's just me. I'm shocked at how much you know.
Yeah, I'm not smart at math, but I know that.
You know a lot of worlds, the world's population. Seriously, you should become a lawyer or go on Jeopardy. You'd be the next Ken Jennings. In 1986, the world's population was roughly 4.9 billion, roughly. Okay, I may be a few million off. It grows. Nope, it's roughly around there. In 1986. It grows at 1.6%. Again, compounded continuously. So back then, housing was pretty cheap, $50,000 for a brand new house, you name it. The reason why the world's population is not so much, there's so much land left over. In Surrey, you can probably get a house for around $30,000. For a price of a car today, you can own a house. But now that doesn't work anymore.
We have doubled our population almost.
Now the question is, if I'm following this model, what is our population at right now? Population
9 billion.
at right now. If you're lost, I go. You can't. We are in 2012, by the way. Okay, we are in year 2012. Now I'm gonna show you how to do this question because a lot of you never done this before. There's one keyword in there. It doesn't matter if I'm talking about population or growth or decay. I want you to highlight this keyword continuously. Right off the bat, we're going to use this formula. A equals to P E to the power KT. A lot of you don't know what K or E is. I'm going to show you what we're going to work on next. E, let's write this down, to the power of K equal to your rate. E to the power of K equals rate. I want you to put a little star beside rate because this is where people are going to make errors. They don't make errors on the E or the K, but it's where the rate is. So we're going to go E to the power of K. Now, write down K is just some unknown value. You have to find this unknown value. This is what we're looking for. Guys and gals, we're going to go E to the power of K. Now, guess what my rate is going to be? This is where people make the error. Aaron, take a guess. What is it? 0.016? That's where the error lies. 1.16, getting closer. See, you're growing at 1.6%, so would you agree that's increasing? So if you're increasing, that's 1 point, guys and gals, fill this in for me. 0.16. Because, just like type 3 questions, if you're growing, think about it as increasing by 1.6%. I want you to take a minute and find K right now. I'm going to pause it. I'll give you a hint. If there's an E, log doesn't work anymore. We're going to use log sister. Log has a sister. Find her. We're going to ln both sides. Go ln. Ln. E to the power of K equals to ln 1.016. Bring K to the front. Ln E is simply 1. I told you that yesterday. So remember, ln E equals to 1. So your question really becomes, punch in, grab my calculator out. Oh, give me a second. I'll load it up. I gotta grab my calculator. So follow along if you're lost. Grab your calculator.
What did you write on the side?
Oh, ln E is always equal to 1. Grab your calculator. Find the ln button. Ln 1.016. 0.016. So write down 0.0. I would just use 3 decimal places, 158. So once you have K, I want you to go back into my formula and sub it in. A equals to P E to the power of 0.0158 times T. Guys, gals, you have all the numbers you need now. Plug it in. You have the P value, which is 4.9. So A equals to 4.9. You have the E value, which is just on your calculator. 0.0158 times T. And T, figure out how many years are from 1986 to 2012. Okay. Just plug it in. So is this type 4 is actually the easiest formula. Guys, let's plug in your calculator right now and we'll see what our world's population is at if I follow this model. And I'll tell you our current world population. Just meet in, what's the population today?
Close to 9 billion.
Whoa, 9 billion? No. Nope. 7 billion. As of 2012, our world's population is at 7 billion. Times 26.
Go I'm confused between 7 and 9.
Okay.
Mr. No, you know who used up most of our resources? Just the baby boomers.
So if I follow this model, what? I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. What did you say?
He was telling you something and you were like, so.
What? I didn't hear it. So guys, if I follow this model, our world's population is going to be around 7.4 billion. Or it's 3/8, so roughly 7.4 billion. Okay. So this model predicts that near the end of 2012, we will be at around 7.4 billion. I can't see getting that high, but this is just a model. If we follow the model of the world's population, this is how we do e to the power of k. I'm going to give you one last question to work on as a class, and then I'm going to give you some good news and bad news. I'm going to go over some tests tomorrow. Some of your things tomorrow. Try this one for me. No, I'm going to go over some stuff. Number 1. Invest $300 compounded continuously at a rate of 2%. 2% per year. In 5 years, what's your accumulated value? I'm going to pause it. To save time, guys, what I'm going to do is go e power k equals to 1.02 ln both sides. K ln e equals to ln 1.02. 0.0198. 0.19, doesn't matter. Now, sub it in, and once you do this, it's just a simple game of a back there. Type 4 is actually the easiest type. Because there's really... Yep, question.
If it was like decreasing,
Yep.
right?
Then you would have to subtract. So, and guys, gals, you can simply sub it in from here, which I'm going to just save time, and then I'll explain to you. P 300 times E to the power of 0.0198 times 5. Punch in your calculator. 300 and what? 897. Oh, I hear another answer. 331. So guys, gals, it's roughly, depending on where you're on your decimal, around 300. I'm going to say 330, roughly. It depends on where you choose your decimal. Voila. Type 4, done. Now, I'm going to go over what you need to know for your exam, and I'm going to pause my recording.